Welcome. I'm Town Administrator Andy Sheehan, and welcome to the latest video. This is the 10th video that I've done since we started this back in early fall. This is the week of November 30th. We're just coming out of Thanksgiving weekend. I hope everybody had a healthy and happy Thanksgiving. A little different this year, but in my household, it was small, but it was great. So now we're into the holiday season, and in Middleton, whenever we talk about the holidays, we talk about neighbors in need. And so who better to talk about neighbors in need with than the coordinators of it, Judy, Gallerie, and Mary Rockwood. So welcome, Judy and Mary. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So for folks at home that may not be familiar with neighbors in need or don't have a deep understanding of neighbors in need, can you tell us a little bit about what it is and the people that are benefited by it?
Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of history. Neighbors in Need was started back in the mid-70s by Shirley Reynard. And at that time, we worked with the Department of Social Services and collected toys for foster children. It was brought to our attention that there was also a need in town. So we started to do things for Middleton families with kids, as well as the Department of Social Services. Back in 2007, Jimmy Sue Valacher approached us that she was doing a similar program from home. And she joined us and brought, so many connections and fundraising ideas, etc. And at that point, the program really expanded, and we went from providing a few toys and maybe a few gift cards to families to really knowing our families well, providing warm coats, boots, food, etc. Unfortunately, when Jimmy passed away in 2017, it left a big hole in this program. Enter Mary in 2017 to help fill Jimmy's shoes, and boy, has she ever. So as of today, we're doing pretty much the same thing. We help Middleton families with children that are having a difficult time providing holiday gifts, warm clothes, boots, other outside recreational things for their family. This year we have, and it's been the last few years pretty steady at about 35 families and about 60 kids. And I've been involved in this program since the mid-'80s.
Wow, that's a long time, Judy. And Mary, so you're the newcomer in a way.
That I am.
To both of you, so COVID has altered everything this year, obviously. And so how has this year differed from other years as a result of the COVID restrictions, and obviously the library being closed, as which was the primary repository for most of the gifts?
Right. I spent a lot of sleepless nights over the summer trying to figure out how this was all going to work this year. Once I knew for sure the library would not be open for us to collect all of our stuff, I went to the friends and we all decided that we would only take gift cards and cash donations and disperse those to our families, and they would do their own shopping this year.
That's great. That makes a lot of sense to do it that way. And so if people want to make a donation, gift cards and checks are preferred. Where should they send those or drop those?
They can drop them at the library if the library is closed, in an envelope in the book return, or they can mail things to 1 South Main Street at the library. Okay, great. And so you've been able to, or you think you'll be able to help roughly the same number of children and families this year as in other years, despite the challenges of COVID? Yes, I'm going to let Mary talk a little bit about, she has kind of done the first part of our Middleton community outreach And she can kind of let you know how things have gone on her end of the program.
Great.
Yep. So, thank God for Facebook, and thank God for the generosity of the community that we live in, that allowed me to outreach to everybody. My mailbox saw a lot of action this year because the library was closed. And we also had drop-offs at Richardson's as well, which was, I mean, I don't know how many times you drive by it, but I drive by it several times a day. So that worked out nicely too. But I can't get over the generosity of our community. It's just been a really wonderful, wonderful outreach this year.
That's great. And I know that Senator Tarr usually, as part of his district-wide toy drive, stops at the Flint Library. Obviously, things are changing this year. I know he kicked off his drive, I believe, today. So can you talk about what he's doing and how that how Neighbors in Need weaves into what he's doing?
Sure. What I can say about Senator Tarr is that the pandemic wasn't going to stop him from promoting programs that help kids on the North Shore. That is for sure. He will be broadcasting from Teresa's on the North Shore 104.9 station this Thursday from noon to 2 to promote our Neighbors in Need program. And Mary and myself and Melissa Gasper, the director of the library, will be going down to kind of share information about the program on the radio to help him out.
That's great. That's great. He's always a great, strong voice for not only Middleton, but the entire North Shore. So it's great that he's able to continue that this year and continue to include a stop in Middleton. So glad to hear that. Anything else before we sign off? Anything else to share about Neighbors in Need for either this year or the future?
The only thing I would like to do before we close is to shout out a little thank you to so many people that have really made this possible. Mary spoke a little bit about the community in general has been unbelievable. I really need to give a thanks to Eagle Bank. We didn't want to approach businesses this year because they were hit really hard, but there were so many that approached us that we are so thankful for. And Eagle Bank was one. Dave Daniels from Richardson's Dairy, Nick's Comic Store, Richardson's Green, the kids from Howe Manning and Fuller Meadow did their regular hero program for us and sent us over $1,000 this year. I mean, it was so unexpected. We just never thought that they could pull something like that off in these times. The Art of Dessert in Town and Kelly Properties helped us out. And we also had several out of town, Answer Quest and New England Biolabs Foundation went out and bought a ton of gift cards from restaurants on the North Shore to help the businesses out. And they donated some of those restaurant gift cards for us to give to our families. It was really great. And of course, a little shout out to Senator Tarr, who always comes through for us. And I want to say thank you to Mary too. I couldn't pull this program together without her. She's been a wonderful help. And that's
Thank you.
Well, it sounds like you guys make a dynamic duo. So thank you both for your efforts on Neighbors in Need this year and past years and going forward. I'll book you for the future if you don't mind. And,
Thank you, Andy.
Judy and Mary, thanks again for joining me today to talk about Neighbors in Need. And thank you to from the entire town, its residents and businesses and all who benefit from the Neighbors in Need program. It's a wonderful thing, and we're very lucky to have it here. So thanks for joining me today.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. I'm always willing to talk about the program.
Well, we'll bring you back in the future too.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. So as you know, if you receive the updates from the Middleton Health Department, active COVID cases in town are increasing. As of last Friday, Middleton is up to 42 active cases. About a month ago, we were in the single digits or low single digits. So things are really changing in town. We're seeing it across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We're seeing it across the country, and we're seeing it in other places around the world. So just a request to please remain vigilant through the holidays and beyond the holidays. You know, there's great news with the vaccines that are being developed, but it's going to take months to distribute the vaccines, make sure that that everybody gets the vaccine and then the booster for those versions of the vaccine that require a booster. So it's safe to say that COVID is going to be with us through a majority, I think, of 2021. So it's really important to maintain our vigilance, keep wearing our masks, washing our hands, and maintaining our social distance. It's a pretty small gesture to keep from exposing loved ones, friends, and people you don't know from getting the virus and becoming sick. So thanks in advance for your continued help in that regard. In terms of, so every week I give a quote. So this week's quote comes from Colin Powell. Colin Powell was the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's a retired 4-star general, former national security advisor. He's held many positions in the military and in government, and really an engaging writer. So his quote goes like this: "There are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure." And I think that's, you know, pretty spot on. It's there's no magic bullets. There's no shortcuts. You just have to work hard and make sure you're prepared. So please email me with topics that you would like me to address in these videos. You can reach me at andrew.sheehan@middletonma.gov. Thanks as always to Adam Stone and Paul Pellicelli from Middleton Public Access for producing the video. Thank you for watching. And until next time, be safe and be well. Thanks.